Yeah. Yeah, man, I do it for the fam. Tryna put food on my table, going ham. PYT says she knows who I am. Brows on fleek, she'll do it for the gram. Love.
What's going on YouTube? This is Project X from Server 7 with another YouTube video. So this video is on the top 5 mid fellow characters. Only reason why I've been holding off on this video is because there's a lot of mid good characters, and it was just overall hard to pick. And after a certain point, this is just like which one was worth it for me at that point, which I made my decisions accordingly. So if you haven't seen my top 5 at the front, let me explain to you a little bit on what I do when I'm picking the top 5. So you have 4 classes: 1B, 1A, 1S, 1SS. I picked the top of each class, and then one overall one. This overall one is just based off abilities of the entire group. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me go on straight to the video. So let's start off with the B ranks. Not a lot of good B ranks. There are a decent amount, but I think the best one out of them all is Ukuro, right, from Bleach. Main reason why is because he is one of the few B rank characters that have an awakening form, which could be helpful in times. Well, it could just overall increase power. But he does a lot of mid damage, causes 4 times, hits 4 times of mid magic damage to an opponent, and also repels them back. So a little bit of a green gel where you see them blasting back a little bit. Pretty much slash row, I guess that's what I will be calling it, which does magic damage to a vertical row to an opponent, which can be helpful. Depends on their lineup is set up. Like if they have 3 backs and like 2 mids, you're gonna hit 2 at least. Next one is Blackwing, which will increase critical damage by a small chance, and overall increase power, which is somewhat helpful. Not really, but there's not a lot of choices in the B ranks. Emptiness, which is increases magic powers in Soul, where you're just increasing your special faster and then doing more of it as much time as you can. And then Resurrection, which is pretty much his awakening form, which is increasing of damage and damage reduction, which he could take in a lot more, or make more less, I guess. Next one, A rank. We'll have to go to Zoro, right? He's been used a lot in the Sky Arena, and he's been getting on my nerves quite often. So let me explain to you why. He does 3 times the physical damage to all characters, and sometimes repels them back. So stalling, I guess, is the word. Next, he does the same thing, 72 cuts, which does a magic damage to just a row, which could be helpful, depends on the opponent's lineup. 3 swords, which is a small damage, which is small chance of combination damage, which can be helpful if you have like that one last character. You just need to get that just 1 to 2 more hits in, right? Shui, or I don't know what the hell it is, but just increase of physical damage, which is always helpful because then he has 2 swords, and most of his special is a physical damage type, so be helpful in his case. Now, SS ranking, there was really just going down to 2, Grimjow or Hawk, right? Both good in their own ways, but I'll have to give this to Hawk. Now, let me tell you why Grimjow didn't win. Grimjow, he's good. He does like a ton of damage. It's just that he's too risky. He's way too risky in my opinion, right? Because look right here, it takes 50% of his health just to do his special. Now, yes, it'll be good if you have a lot of support, right? If that was the case, but it doesn't guarantee that you always have a lot of support in the group. So that's why it was a little bit risky, but yeah, he's still good. He is the next person in line in my choices. But I can't it's just a little bit too hard. He loses HP way too many times, and it's just way too risky just to have him out. When you get him, his awakening resurrection, and have like TV or Santa Girl just to supply. At that point he's good, but if not, then there's no point in you. He does not deserve the #1 spot of the S ranking characters. Now Hawk is really good in my opinion. Let me just go on to the special slash skills. So it does 1 damage, does 1 hit to 1 opponent, and may blow them back, but does a ton of damage. As you can see, it does 600%. Depends on the level, of course. The higher the level, the more the higher the blowout or damage. Right, and then after that, causes damage to a single mid, which could also be helpful because most mid characters does the most damage in the squad, unless you have combinations characters. And then also steals and physical power, so he gains that and steals it from the opponents. Like, why not? Next, he gains a magic shield, which can be helpful if you're just trying to have like another mid character trying to grow up their special, and Mihawk's the guy who's getting attacked the most. Then it's a stalling thing. That's just the main thing, and which could be helpful at times. And especially if you have to defend, right, on like in the arena, then like those last couple of seconds does matter. Alright, next thing is when he's close to dead, he gets a small like orange HP, which can be helpful, like again, just to stall. The next is the awakening form, right, which just pretty much does overall just damage increase and gets damage deduction, which is he takes less. And another thing is that, like, look at him awakening. Like, that's literally like the best awakening character I've ever seen in the game. Is on point. Like, you can't tell me that doesn't look dope. Like, oh my goodness. Like, if I had Mihawk in my squad, I literally have enough to awaken him. Let me just show you guys. Like, if I already had my squad awakened, right, then all this would have went to Mihawk just so I could wear him. Right? Sound crazy. I'm assuming a lot of y'all hate me because I could do that. But now let's just finish it off with the SS ranking class. Of course, there's a lot. You got 4th Hokage, Camping to Gaia, Naruto, San, Lucy, Thor, and I believe that's it, yeah. Or Sheila, but nobody can't really use Sheila because you need her with Rin to actually have a good, like, SS mid. So this, for the SS ranking, I'll have to go with Gaara, Sand. Now there's pretty much just 2 to 3 options, right? And I buckled it down to these 2. Okay, so you got Thor, which does a lot of magic damage, right? Overall, but I still gotta give it a Sand. Now let me explain to you why. So Sand, his special, he does massive damage to the front characters. So whoever's in front in line, he gets coffined, right? Then after that, he does a little bit of a percentage damage to a single character randomly, which you'll see if like the ground. I guess you do like a miniature coffin on like one character, which is like the same as Thor with his lightning, but it's these last couple of effects that or special skills that I think makes him better than Thor. Absolute defense, right? Increases strength, pretty much physical resistance to somebody. So if somebody's just trying to melee hit your characters, then be pretty hard. So for example, my Madara, I have to take like 30 seconds in order to take down his shield. And what sucks even more is that he has sand deduction. So pretty much he's immune to all buffering, so the burn, the burning, any poison, the freezing effects, they don't work on him when he has his shield up. And what makes it worse is that when he has these things with his awakening form, because then one, he does overall just increase of damage, and then also when he does it, he does his special to all opponents, not just front, but all of them, and it's 100% guaranteed that it will hit, and which gets really annoying because then that could be the one shot that just ruins everything, right? So that's why I think it should go to Sand. And then last but not least, overall, fourth. It is that simple. He's too fast. He's like literally like the fastest guy in the game. Um, but just in case for people who don't know who the fourth does, what the fourth does is God Flash is his special. Very much increases in speed, attacks, and magic power to literally everybody. So if say if it takes like 10 seconds to have your special, it will now take 5, and it's better overall. Storm, which is like it's a Rasengan, right? It just does massive damage. It just by reading out this, does 61k just to hit somebody, and it hits the weakest person. So that could be really helpful if you're just trying to reduce the amount of AOE or just a damage. This is a damage output. A lot it could help. Flash, right? Just dodging, I guess, is the way to use the word. It's the way to use this. Pretty much just damage, just dodge hits. The fourth, I guess, is his special. Is a small increase of speed, which, like I said, like when he does, like pretty much what he does is just he throws a kunai knife, and then throws a Rasengan, and then throws a kunai knife, and then Rasengan, and he does that like all the time, and that literally like one hits people depends on how big the level difference or power. And then there is his awakening, which just does that, but makes it even stronger and faster and overall better. This is not up for debate. But yeah, those were my top 5 on the mid. Back will be. I'll make the top 5 for back pretty soon. Stay tuned for that, and then also another thing. There's times on the weekend where I'll start streaming on like Destiny or Black Ops, and if you guys just want questions to be answered, just jump in, ask your questions. I'll answer them, and you guys can enjoy your day and watch me play Destiny and fail at it. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Enjoy the rest of your day.